them to take their time with that.
It's been 2 seasons.
I want them to take their time with that because these are both two very guarded people, and so both very controlling, and that's what's so exciting to watch. And it's this game of tug of war. And so you've got these two very willful, very controlling people holding this rope filled with tension. As soon as someone lessens the tension, the game's going to be over. I tell you, it's always what works so well. So I know a lot of people are eager to explore that, and I am, but I want them to do it in a way that just doesn't, that is simmering.
I love the adorable awkwardness in the scene last year, though, when he's like, I saw you changing.
Okay, by the way, what's sexy about that too is because he never says anything.
Yeah.
He's a man of very few words.
Yeah.
And then he opens his mouth and he lets the fact that he's been watching me undress. and just roll without apology. That is what was so amazing about that scene in particular. Yeah, I love that. I really do like that, and I look forward to seeing where they take it. But at the same time, I really do. I think time and time again, as soon as they get those two people, you got to keep them wanting.
Where do you want? I was going to ask. Sorry. Where do you want to? Good to see you too. Yeah. Where do you see Norma in season 3? I know that you guys haven't received scripts apparently.
No,
Nobody's told you anything.
We don't shoot till October.
Right.
And they don't tell us that they're so tight-fisted about plot lines. We pitch them ideas all the time. And funnily enough, I do know one big thing that they're going to reveal in the next, at the panel, they're going to reveal it. Carlton will. I remember, I said, I threw him that bone, I suggested it, and he totally nixed it when I threw it, but ultimately he came around. So they do take her, and it's funny to see what I can only assume that they're going to weave. I'd like to think that I've done a really good job of portraying Norma as a big-hearted person, as someone who is a good one, who intentionally means well, albeit being incredibly flawed. But that ultimately, sincerely, and even the murky sexuality, I can honestly say that yes, those are strange boundary lines that are blurred given her history, but that the physicality between them, she's clinging to him like a life raft. These two people are stranded on this island. They've survived the shipwreck of a life that Norval's had. He's seen his mom raped, humiliated, and so they only have each other. The only other person that she does have, which is I think a really beautiful relationship that was explored, the Dylan relationship, that grounds her, and he has a calming effect on Norma. At the same time, there's that duality of at the same time she's looking at someone who is the manifestation, the tangible manifestation of something so sordid that her one true love in life is finished. And so I can only imagine that what you're going to be seeing now, I've created this who Norma is, and I think what we're going to be exploring with my character is who Norman is creating her to be in his head. I can only imagine.
That was so fun in the valley.
It's pretty cool, Pretty cool. So we'll see. She's a robust character, so I can only imagine.
Is she more terrified for Norman or of Norman?
Say it again.
Is she more terrified of her son or for him?
I don't know. She must be. I read so many blogs about mothers giving their testimonies about what it's like to have a violent child, to be the mother of a child who's violent or has violence issues or has transmission issues or neurologically dysfunctioning children, mothers of ranging the whole gamut, behavioral issues, brain chemistry issue, all of that, and it's just like, yes, fear, you have to squish that fear, because there's no other option except for handing him over to an institution and just be ridden, or killing yourself, or killing the child. The only other option is healing him yourself. And so you gotta squash that fear. And it's there, but it's not an option. And I think to be afraid of helping him is far worse. I think it's on his head. So but at the same time, it's only a portion of his personality. And I think she's just determined to pick up all these fragments of his mind together again, because she knows that he's a good kid, that he's a good heart. But somehow there's like this weird glitch that I think she thinks she can heal through love. Through maternal love. I think that's just her objective. I mean, she wants happiness. Only found it in the dictionary up until now. And that's she just wants function.
She finally got her family back at the end of last season when she and Dylan resolved their issues. Do you anticipate that causing some jealousy or some issues with Norman next season?
Yeah, we've touched a lot on that. I mean, I think we have to take it to the next level. I think how we explored that in the first. Yeah, I think you especially as his. I mean, he's in that very tricky stage of adolescence where the guys are, their sexuality is burgeoning. They're pushing away from their moms, and simultaneously they're taking that umbilical and why? Because they don't have a answer. And also he has this fierce need to protect her. He is her protector. He's seen a lot of crap go down, and I think that vigilance is so. I think you're going to see that push and pull probably. Well, if they choose to explore that. I mean, and if they keep it again, that relationship is very complicated. It's not an easy one to sustain in like the Dylan Norman relationship. It comes with just. Lord knows. I don't know. Has their relationship ever been explored like that?
I don't think they've actually been.
No, I know in American Horror Story they explored Mayor Winningham's character and his son. It was like a 3-episodic arc, but like no one has ever explored the aftermath of incest trauma. And so this should be very interesting to see how that relationship, which I think is proving to be something worthy and grounding, amongst all this dysfunction, that something so dysfunctional could actually provide the most sort of groundedness and I don't know, we'll see.
Well, I think Carrie also kind of said that Caleb is projects. They want to bring him back. So that'll be another wrench thrown into that.
It would be amazing. I mean, I thought very much. I think it's so unexplored. That was one of my qualms with the second season, was that you've got this epic character who shows up and then he just disappears. Like, to me, that storyline is incredibly unexplored, and there's so much gunk that needs to be sort of slapped up on that screen and deciphered, and I think that would be worthy. Yeah.
Well, Norma doesn't seem to be the sort of person who takes abuse anymore. She's willing to fight back. She's already proven she'll kill somebody for attacking her. So I think they're kind of building up some of that rage again, so she'll feel empowered enough to deal with it, more than just shoving him out the door.
Yeah, because so far she's just, she tried to muster up the courage, I think it was in the 5th or 6th episode, to confront him, and then ultimately ended up peeling out of the motel parking lot. This is a big one. This is going to take an exponential.
Well, she's been playing victim for so long in her life, and it's required both of her sons to kill on her behalf.
Well, I think it's just like this. That's her tool set in this sort of. She's got this toolkit of survival skills, and so the biggest one is denial. It's like, and you can see just the way she dresses, and how prim and proper and pretty she looks. Like a little doll, just like a perfect little doll. She's got a perfect little life, and then underneath is this murkiness and this, and that denial's a look, up until now, it's like, what's the other choice? I mean, it's a valid form of perseverance up until it's not.
So you recently joined Twitter.
Yeah.
Very exciting. You're going to season 3, so will that change anything in how you approach season 3 or how you approach
I tend to tweet when I tend to do it more as that's not true. I think the World Cup disproved that. So the World Cup came and I
You're very good at it.
I had to, but then I'm also, and then I take like these hiatuses where I just lose interest. And then recently it's been interesting because, you know, the fans reveal themselves to you and then you realize it's a lot of like teenage girls who seem to be doing progress and they're looking to you as a role model. Right. And it becomes a huge responsibility. And then these lines, you know, I'm not entirely sold on the sport. And I'm just sort of learning how the right way to play it for myself. I tend to tweet around the show, and also to kind of to throw kindling into the fire of propaganda of BATES. I think it's, but I don't know. I'm a bit stop-start.